everybody. Thank you so much for joining another edition of the Dream Chat. I am Bernetta Knighton, creator of the Knighton Project, and you are in for a treat tonight. I have a special guest, April Moncrief. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. I'm Bernetta, creator of the Knighton Project. It is a nonprofit organization where we restore the hope and dreams of everyday people like you and me. We go to work, we pay our bills, we live our life, but sometimes we feel that we can't have the dream that we always desire because of lack of opportunity, lack of network, lack of resources. But we wanted to create an organization where everybody deserves one dream come true. So with the help of sponsors, friends, donations, brands, we are going to take one dream at a time and prayerfully make every dream come true for everyone that enters. So if you want to put in your dream, no cost, just go to knightonproject.com and click on dream and just add your dreams to the list of dreamers out there. All right, tonight we will be talking to April Moncrief. She wrote a book, How My Divorce Saved My Marriage. And for the Dream Chat series, we will be talking to people every month that have had a dream come true. And she is now a published author. She is having the marriage of her dreams, and she'll tell you about that. Let me just tell you a little bit about Miss April. Okay, one second. Also, you're going to be able to chat with us live on the website, theknightonproject.com. Go to the blog post that says How My Divorce Saved My Marriage, and you can scroll all the way down and you can see the little chat box. You can start chatting and I will be looking over there and seeing your questions that you have for April, okay? Or if you're my Facebook friend, you can DM me on Facebook as well. All right, let's introduce Miss April. After a traumatic divorce, April Moncrief and her husband committed to rebuilding their marriage with renewed faith, counseling, love, and prayer. They breathed new life into their relationship by making significant changes in themselves and in the way they interact and treat each other. With the heart of a teacher, April felt a calling to share what they learned with other couples. As a marriage restoration speaker and workshop facilitator, April gives women and couples practical strategies to build or rebuild a stronger marriage with a foundation that's better able to survive life's inevitable crises. A stay-at-home mother of twins, April writes about the joys, challenges, obstacles, and triumphs of marriage and family life on our website, apriltmoncrief.com. To find out more about April's ongoing journey or to get more information, of course, about her coaching and speaking services, visit apriltmoncrief.com. So welcome, April.
Hello, Bernetta. How are you?
How are you today?
Great. I'm great. I'm tired, but I'm great.
I know. I'm a mommy and a wife, and I'm tired too, but I'm so glad that we get to chat tonight about your book. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So let's get right into it because inquiring minds want to know. So the first question is, whatever you want to share, would you briefly share a little bit about your story and what was the path to your dream marriage? You don't have to share it all because we know the juice is in the book, but just briefly share with us a little bit about your story.
I was just in the parking lot at football practice with my son tonight. A lady who had purchased the book flagged me down and she was like, "Don't tell me everything, just tell me this. Don't tell me everything, just tell me this." So the juice is in the book, but just a little snippet about we were married in 2001, my husband and I, and we dated for like 10, 11 years. We were high school sweethearts, went to college together. And in 2001, we got married, had this beautiful ceremony. We loved each other, all that beautiful stuff. And in 2005, right after the birth of our twins, we got divorced. And so much happened between then, but we were apart for like 9 months. And God saw fit to bring us back together. It's a wild and crazy ride. It's an amazing story of faith and love lost and love restored again. And the biggest thing about it was faith, because we were both walking on faith when we decided that we wanted to be back together again. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to do it. We just knew we loved each other and we wanted to, bring the marriage back together again and be reunited. So we got married again 9 months later, and here we are. It was a lot that happened in between. My husband and I are really control freaks and we're planners. So a lot of that had to be kind of undone in our lives, and we had to realize who was really in control, which wasn't us, it was God. Right. And he brought it back together. It's just an amazing story of faith and love and love restored. It is.
So tell me about the book. What made you write the book? I know it's an amazing story, but like, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to put this on paper and tell my story?
After we got married, we had a lot of people. I had a lot of people coming up to me asking me, "How in the world did y'all do that? Like, what made y'all first? How'd you get divorced? What happened? And then what made you want to go?" Because a lot of young people. And I did some research before I started writing the book. I wanted to find out, did we have a niche? Like, was this something? And I come to find out, people do this all the time. Older people do this all the time. Yeah, they get divorced and then they remarry, or they get back together and maybe they never remarry, but they get back together. Young people, not so much, because it's a lot of pride involved and a lot of people, friends and family that they've gotten kind of in the middle of it. So they don't usually get back together. So I figured we had kind of a niche thing going on. So but after we got back together, we didn't want to discuss it. We just wanted to move on with our lives and live and be happy and forget all that dark, scary, ugly that place that we were in. But people kept asking us about the story and what we went through, and a lot of people honestly wanted to know because they were going through stuff. And so I went to my husband. I said, "Can we do a pamphlet or speak at a church?" He was like, "No, no, no, I'm not getting in anybody's business." You have to know my husband. He's really passive aggressive. He's an introvert. He doesn't oblige any information unless you secretly ask him, and then he'll talk. So 2 years, begging, pleading, asking, "Baby, can we talk about this?" So finally, I think he needed to heal too, because I had done my healing, and I think he needed to heal from a lot of the stuff and a lot of the things that happened. So he finally said, "Go, get it. Let's do it." So I jumped at it. I jumped and I just started writing, which nobody told me that's not how I mean, I guess it is. You start writing your story. I was way off path. You can talk to some people that can kind of help you out down the road. I had 50 pages of just back in front of this story, just all over the place. And I talked to a friend that kind of got me in touch with somebody that kind of got me all of my information all together. But yeah, it took me 2 years to get my husband to agree to the story, to the book.
So what was your biggest hurdle? Like, your book is published, it's on Amazon, and I'm going to put the link on the site shortly. But what was your biggest hurdle into making this dream a reality of being an author?
Starting and stopping life, mommy, wife, duties. And I will tell you, I'll be honest with y'all, we would have our little, get downs. Let's see, arguments and disagreements. Right. And I put the book down. I was like, nope, I'm not writing this book, because me and this man is arguing. We get into these arguments. Something may happen. We may end up divorced again. I would purposely put the book down. But I realized that was the enemy trying to keep us from telling this story. So he knew what it took to get me to be quiet. Like any little tension between us, I would put the book down for months. We would be okay, and I would still put the book down. Just nervous and fear, not letting me push through. So my biggest hurdle was fear. I think it was fear, not fear. I knew I could do it, but it was just, I think, not fear of the story, but just fear of me and my husband. Like, we had been through this before. What if this happened again? And now we got this book out telling all these people all this great stuff. And what if we fail? What if we fail again? But God slowly showed me, what if you do? What if you do? Your divorce did save your marriage this time. This is a story that you have to tell people. And we're not failing no more. We've been there, done that. But that was the enemy allowing, I was allowing him to get in my head to say, what if something happens and you write this book? So that was my biggest hurdle. Just get that fear out of my consciousness, just letting it go.
Now, let me ask you, you don't have to answer this, but I'm going to just ask it anyway. Since you are, in a good state, are you willing to share something that when you got divorced, the straw that broke the camel's back, when you're like, you know what, I love him, but it's just not going to work out?
Yeah, I'm an open book. Literally, I'm an open book. What was the straw? It was, I think, our biggest thing was communication. It's crazy. We got divorced because of communication. I think the straw that broke the camel's back, my husband shuts down very easily, and he does not talk. He does not intermingle. He does not. And a lot of that came from me, beating him over the head with my nagging and, you know, other things. But he shut down for like a year, like maybe a year and a half, like literally lights out, like only dealt with me when he needed to deal with me regarding the kids or money or finances or bills or whatever. And I think that did it for me. He was no longer warm and gentle and kind. He was gone. He literally clocked out of our relationship a year before the divorce actually happened. And I think for me, I was at that point. I wanted the divorce, and then I didn't. Then I wanted the divorce. So at that point, I was in church and praying and fasting and doing all this stuff to, you know, bring us back together. And he was not there anymore. He was gone. And I think for me that was the last straw. I couldn't deal with no, I couldn't reach him. I couldn't reach him anymore. But at that point, it was all in God's hands. I think I was not going to reach him. Not with my own tactics. I had to step back and allow God to do the things that I prayed for God to do. So I think that was the last straw. It was just a lack of communication. He was not having to deal with me whatsoever. So that
how long have you all been back remarried? Because when I ran, if you don't know, me and April went to the same college, Alabama State University, Hornets. And when I ran into you some years ago, you and your husband had already been back remarried. So of course I was on the flip side of that, seeing the love and, you know, like, oh my God, they have such a great marriage. She loves her husband so much. How long have you been remarried? And like I said in the advertisement, like your dream marriage. And we talked about, you know, even though it's a dream marriage, you have your ups and downs, nothing's perfect, but you're in the happiest place. So how long now have you all been back together, and what do you define as your dream marriage?
Communication. Huge. And if I can tell anybody out there, know your spouse, know thyself, but know thy spouse. I'm in my dream marriage now because, like you said, Bernetta, it's not easy, right? This is work. Everybody knows marriage is work, especially when you've been divorced. There's pressure, and there's not outside pressure. We don't care about what people say. We've been past that, but there's pressure from us. Like, we want to make sure that we don't do things that got us, like neglecting each other or not paying attention or not communicating. Communication is huge for me, and it is for him too. And it's how you communicate for my husband. So I think I would say I'm in my dream marriage because we are able to talk to each other now, and we are able to argue with each other now, and we know how to go back and do the things that we did to get back in a good place. It's communication. I don't know, how can I put this? I'm you know me, Bernetta. I like to talk and I like to share a lot. And my husband is really quiet, and he doesn't really know that about your husband. There's sometimes that I come in and I have all this stuff to share and to say, and he's not really, you know, feeling it. He's not really. I have to read him. I have to know him. If he's had a bad day, if he's stressed, I have to shut myself down and tend to his needs. Vice versa. If I'm all over the place and I got all this stuff and he really doesn't want to hear it, sometimes he has to put his big boy draws on and say, okay, let's talk, let's do this. So it's just knowing each other and knowing what our likes and dislikes are. I think we knew that in the beginning too, because we've been together like 12, 13 years, but it wasn't, this is amazing because I can come in and just sigh really loudly and just, I'm tired, you know, maybe I'm hormonal or whatever. And he's like, you okay? You need something? Everything okay? Did I do something? Did the kids? Like, he is so attentive, and vice versa. If he's rubbing his head or kind of got his hand in his head or kind of worried about something, I'm like, are you okay? Do you need something? Did I do something? Did I spend some money on the credit card? We're just all over it. And I told my mom, I think that's going to this like the honeymoon stage. Maybe that's going to end soon, but I hope it doesn't, because I think we now know what to do to kind of make sure each other's okay. And that, to me, it's not perfect. Nobody's, I don't have flowers every day. We still argue. We still disagree. We still go to bed angry sometimes. But we know how to go back and fix it. We didn't know
how long have you two been married?
It has been
remarried,
married. Total of 7 years.
7 years. And how long were you married before the divorce?
5.
5.
Yeah, from 2000 to 2005. Yeah. So there's no, because people thought, was the first year itch? Was it the second year itch? No, I don't know. It was just 5 years. It was those babies. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was just the compounding of everything. And like I said in the book, there were fractures in our relationship and our marriage way before those babies got there, but they just brought the cracks out even more. So we were forced to kind of deal with it when they got here.
Okay. So now you're a published author. How does your husband feel about you being a published author? And I know that since the book's been published, you've been on the go. And like, how does he feel about the success of the book?
Girl, I don't know. Let me see. I will say he's very proud and very happy. I think and he jokes, he's like, when you go out to speak, don't bring another book back. He's like, make that money, like bring all my money back. Like, but I think when the book first came out, I actually told this at my speaking engagement this past weekend, we weren't speaking. So you would think this beautiful moment and the book is out and it's like, yay, yay, yay. And we weren't speaking to each other for like a week. We were passing through the house like, excuse me, excuse me. I think because immediately I got busy. I'm always busy, but I got really distracted. It was all about the book, all about the book, all about marketing, all about trying to get the book into somebody's hand, like just so busy. And I think my husband is not, he doesn't like me all over him. He's not really clingy, but there are times I think when he's like, what about me? And I think that happened when the book came out. So I would say his enthusiasm, he's over the moon. He's really proud and really happy, but I think he misses me or just misses the time that we, tend to spend together. It's not a lie because he's always busy and gone. And I think because of that, because he works so much, when he's home, I'm here, the kids are here. So that didn't happen for that first week until I finally kind of touched him and said, hey, something's wrong. We need to talk. And he kind of admitted that it's just crazy right now. So he's really excited. But I think initially he was like, what just happened? Like, what just happened?
Everything kicked into overdrive.
Exactly. So, yeah, he's excited about it.
Okay. So, again, how do you keep yourself motivated? I mean, you're a new author. So, of course, it's a lot going on. And I see your marketing tactics everywhere. But how do you keep yourself motivated through it all to stay smiling, to stay happy, to stay, pumped up?
I would say I love to say the haters, girl, the haters. But I ain't got none right now. Like, this is a strange. Wait, let's be clear. I'm sure I got some, or they coming. But I would say people like you. I watch a lot of blogs. I watch a lot of motivational and inspirational. I just started watching Sarah Jakes, T.D. Jakes' daughter, and I just started kind of following her blogs and her videos and yours. Like just being inspired by other women. That keeps me going. I can have a day where I'm just like, I ain't doing nothing, which was Monday when I got back from Alabama doing a couple engagements. And I was like, Monday is the day I'm not doing nothing. And I ran across somebody's blog. It might have been Sarah Jakes. I started watching it and I got off that sofa and I started working again. So the thing that keeps me going is other women that are out there hitting it and killing it every day. And I realize some days I do need to rest and I do need to pull back, and I'm going to do that in a couple weeks. But I just have to be, I need women. I need women out there doing it and blogging and all these different ideas and videos. So people like yourself and Sarah Jakes and all these other women that are out here every day and they may be resting. I'm sure you're resting too. Your blog on a day I'm supposed to be resting, then I'm up. It's over. Because it just inspires me to get up and get out and do it. Like y'all are amazing. And if anybody knows me, I love women. I love my girlfriends. And I love the camaraderie that we have. And something just rubs off on me. And it just inspires me to keep going and to keep at it. I love it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with resting. We all need rest, because when you're rested, then you can be the best you can be when you get on that stage, when you start talking to people. So there's nothing wrong with taking a day for yourself. Nobody's going to know but you. You know what I mean? And even if you took 3 days, it's okay, because you're going to come back restored and renewed and revived. Okay.
Exactly. I need to.
Okay. So I know you love the Lord. So what do you do? Do you pray? Do you meditate? Do you read affirmations? Like, what keeps a smile on your face? Or even if you have doubt or you have stress and can't nobody help you? Because sometimes we get in those situations where we call our girlfriends and they don't pick up. We text somebody, they don't reply. And then we really have to revert to, prayer. So what do you do?
It's crazy. I make it to church on Sunday. I don't read my Bible like I should. Be clear. Let's be real. I'm too busy to, sit. If I run across an affirmation, I'll read it and I'll save it but I'll read it one time and I'm gone. I might not even go back and remember it. So because I'm always so, running and doing so much, but I have to get to church on Sunday. Like I'm screaming in here. You would think that I was a heathen. I mean, I'm screaming like, get out. Like, and even if they don't go, I'm going. I need a word. And every time I go, it is something for me. Every time I go, when I miss church, it's not because of guilt. Like, oh, we're going to think. It's because I'm missing something that I need to take me through the next week with this book and with this journey. And like I mentioned before, haters, like I know that's coming. And I need to go because I need to gird myself up.
It may not be coming. You don't have to speak that.
I know. You're right. Maybe you're right. Because it's just the weirdest thing. I'm just like, where they at? Like, I'm just around every.
That they not there. It's a blessing that they not there.
I'm Gasper now, and I'm thank you, Jesus. But I'm always saying I need to get to church because I'm just preparing for whatever. And even where the book is taking me, I don't know where that is. But
that's my next question. Let me interject real quick.
Okay.
Because this is a dream, what does a dream fulfilled look like for you? Like, you are an author. Now what? You know what I mean? Just like Oprah says, when you manifest a dream, dream another dream. So now you're an author. Now what?
Another book. Another book. I thought this was just going to be it. And I was just going to go on back to what I was doing. But I love this. And honestly, the dream is to sit across from her, Oprah. If you can make that happen, Bernetta, let's do that.
We both want to sit across from Oprah.
Yes, exactly. Or Steve Harvey. He's like the Oprah of now.
Oprah. Yeah, I say my male Oprah.
Say my name, Steve, and say how my divorce saved my marriage, so we can work this thing out. But that is the pinnacle. And honestly, I think I'm dreaming too small. I think that's too small. Just some things that God has shown me in the last week, and some surprises coming. I can't wait to share with y'all. But I was just hoping to get on a radio station, but something else has happened. So God keeps saying, you're dreaming too little, you're dreaming too small. So, but my big dream is Oprah, Steve, like, get my book in the hands of Tyler Perry or, anybody. I would love to, but the biggest thing is, next thing is I'm going to write another book. I already got the title. Can't tell them. But I want to write another book, and it's a play off of this one, and we'll see what happens. I love this now. I told someone at 30, I didn't realize I loved to read as much as I do until I was 30, because no one nurtured that in me when I was younger. It was just, but I love words. I think I'm a wordsmith, but I realized at 30 that I love to read. So now I just started. After publishing this book, I think I would love to write. Like, I want to do this full time. Like, this is what I want to do. And the biggest goal is I want this book to go across the country, to go across the world, to be in people's ministries, TD Jakes, Sarita. Like, I want women or churches to have this book as part of their arsenal to help women in marriages and couples. That's the biggest goal.
All right, we got a few minutes left, so before we get to the end, I have maybe 2 more questions for you. I want to tell everybody that April's book is on Amazon, How My Divorce Saved My Marriage, and if you're listening tonight and haven't got your book, she has a treat for you. You have the opportunity to get it 20% off if you order this evening. How long is it good for, April?
24 hours.
24 hours. I put the link on the Knighton Project blog post. It's in the little chat, and I also put it on Facebook after this session if you want. Somebody said something on Facebook. This session if you want, but it's 20% off, and you can get it on Amazon. And so let's wrap it up. We got a few minutes left, so I have a couple more questions. The other question that I had it right before. Who are your biggest supporters? So yeah, who are your biggest supporters? I know that everybody, you see the pictures of everybody buying the book saying, I got the book, April, but who has really supported you through it all?
Let me just say, my sister, let me say all of them because they may get mad, but my sister Beverly has been huge. But I'm just going to say this. People will say, and I'm going to be quick because I know we got a short time, don't expect friends and family to buy your book. You get that if you have a product, don't expect family and friends to support you initially. Like when you blow up, that's when they go support you. And I had that in the back of my head. I was like, y'all, my family and my friends in my hometown and in Atlanta, people have truly. My writing partner was like, I have never seen anything because she was one of the main ones saying, girl, don't look Your family alone could still, take you to number one. But don't expect, and I wasn't, I wasn't. But my family, my friends in my hometown, these people have shown up and showed out. So truly, I will have to say, I thought it wasn't good. I wasn't gonna say this, but they have come out. Those are my biggest supporters. They're buying books and then they're out there hustling books. Like they're at school, at their job, they're out there in their office hustling books. Like it is amazing. And I didn't expect it and I didn't ask for it. And I'm so grateful. So I always say, maybe not think small, but don't, be surprised. I was truly, truly surprised. And I'm so grateful for all of my friends in Atlanta and Prattville. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I just didn't expect it. So those are my biggest, and my husband. My husband is too.
Of course. Now, tell us a couple of strategies, not everything, but just give us 1 or 2 strategies for maybe engaged women that are about to get married, or newly married women, or married people that are just going through some relationship things, so they don't even have to go through like a divorce to get remarried. Just tell them something that you learned that can help them along the way. Give us 1 or 2 strategies.
Accept your husband's limitations is one. My husband is Superman to me, and I'm sure most women's husbands are, but I never saw this man weak. And we were been dating since we were little, like, 19, 18. And not once have I ever seen him I've seen him cry and, sad, but I've never seen him not be able to do something. So when he turned 40, 35, I started kind of seeing him human. It angered me. Like it angered me. And I think, well, as we were going through the divorce too, before that, like he would forget to do things, and it angered me, and I just didn't know he had limitations. He's human. I'm a grown, educated woman. I should have known, but I don't know. He's always been my Superman, and I never saw him not able to take care or do something. And then as he got older, he became human to me. And initially it angered me. Now I love it. Like I love him because I can take care of him when he's weak or when he's not so strong. And I love to do that. I never had the opportunity in the first marriage to do that. Because we were all, everybody was jockeying for position. He was but now he's not, weak all the time, but he's vulnerable. He's allowed himself to be vulnerable. And I love that. The other thing is, so accept his limitations and communication. I said that before. That's huge. Talk. I don't care what anybody says. Go to bed if you're tired. Seriously, you're going to go to bed mad sometimes. It is what it is. That's not the goal. And we want to definitely try not to do that a lot. But communication is so important. Know your husband, know what he likes, know when he wants to talk. Don't talk to him when he doesn't want to talk. Like it just makes it worse. Just know yourself, know your husband, know your spouse, and communicate. You might have a husband that doesn't like to. My husband didn't in the beginning. We've come to a point where, we realize this is one of the biggest things in our relationships, in our relationship, and we need it. So accepting his limitations and talk your heads off. It just makes for a dream marriage. I swear, I promise.
Well, we are going to end with, we have a question from Facebook from Latasha. She asks, April, how do you manage your time? I love to write, but often don't find the time. And if you all have a question, I'll give a couple extra minutes. If you have a question, you can put it on my Facebook page or maybe April's. But April, how do you manage your time? I love to write, but often don't find the time.
I did. Allie, if she's listening, she's the person at my kid's school in Atlanta who does the traffic. What do you call it? The person that
carpool.
Carpool. And I would literally be in carpool writing, like writing in carpool or sitting at the traffic stop. I take that book and that paper everywhere with me, and I would just start writing. I could be at a stoplight. I start writing. I put it down. I drive in carpool, sitting in the car wash, wherever you are, because it is hard as a mom and as a wife. We have things, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, but a lot of women out there, y'all work. So on lunch break, just go write. Go sit in the car. Don't talk on this lunch break today. Go sit in the car and just write. You have to find any little moment that you can, and if you love it, like you do, you'll write it. I write at the park when the kids are playing ball. You just find any little time to get a paragraph, and you've succeeded. I mean, you wrote a paragraph, and sometimes I start and I can't stop. But then practice is over, or carpool moves, and I have to put it up. But I get so much enjoyment out of just those. So don't let anything stop you. You get stressed out, and
just go right.
feel like, you know, I didn't do anything today. Write a paragraph, write a couple sentences. It meant the world to me just to get that out. And then the next day I do it over again.
Hey, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not writing a book, but I journal a lot, so I carry my journal with me all the time. Or if I'm, you know, so, and if I need to write something, if I'm going through something, I just have it in my book, you know, so I can write, release or whatever. So definitely. Well, it's 9:30, and I want to thank you for being on the 3rd edition of the Dream Chat. Let me see one thing. Okay, somebody asked a different question. Okay, so I want to thank you for being on the 3rd edition of the Dream Chat. Everybody, this will be saved to YouTube, so you can see it again if you missed it live. Just click on the YouTube. We ask that you share the link to your friends and that you get April's book, How My Divorce Saved My Marriage. I will put the link on Facebook as well as the blog, 20% off for 24 hours. Thank you so much, April. We really appreciate it. Much success to you in your book. And I can't wait to see you on Steve Harvey across from Oprah. Maybe I'll be in the studio too that day. I don't know.
Thank you so much. I do. And I know both of us kind of have some similar dreams. So this was huge for me. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And you and I will be passing each other this journey. I promise you. I promise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, April. Have a great night. And if you have any questions or want to know more about April's coaching, speaking, visit her website at apriltmoncrief.com. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Bernetta. Thank you.